Intel Thread Director makes Alder Lake hybrid architecture work. Intel in its Architecture Day presentation Thread Director, a hardware component present on the Alder Lake silicon, which makes the hybrid architecture of the processor work flawlessly. Alder Lake S is the first desktop processor with two kinds of x86 CPU cores, the larger performance P cores, and the smaller efficient T cores, which work in a setup not unlike Big. Little by ARM. The x86-based Alder Lake processor has a much more complex ISA, and the E cores don't have all of the instruction sets or hardware capabilities that the P cores do. The two cores operate at very different performance, watt bands, and are optimized for vastly different workloads. At the same time, sending a workload to the wrong kind of core could not only impact performance, but also crash, due to an ISA mismatch. Intel realized that it will take a lot more than mere OS level awareness to solve the problem, and so innovated the Thread Director. Put simply, Intel Thread Director is a highly specialized hardware abstraction layer, HAL, that interfaces with the operating system and software on one side, and the two groups of CPU cores, on the other. Its job is to analyze a workload, distribute it among the P-core or E-core clusters, at a granular level, that is thread level. If specific threads of an application don't invoke certain kinds of instructions and are determined to be low priority, they're dispatched to the E-core cluster. Threads that lose priority are parked onto the E-cores from the P-cores, too. The P-cores get priority when a thread requires instructions exclusive to P-cores, such as AVX512 or DL Boost. Thread Director also works with the OS kernel to discern background tasks from foreground, priority ones. This probably works with a software side component that's included with the chipset INF software, if not an exclusive driver. Thread Director ensures that lightweight or low priority tasks don't needlessly invoke P cores, and when the system is idling, the processor's power management can probably gate power to P cores for major power savings. This is assuming Alder Lake features a power gating technology similar to Lakefield. Intel will recommend Windows 11 as the most optimal OS for Alder Lake, as it meets Thread Director halfway with OS scheduler awareness of hybrid processor architectures. It remains to be seen, however, whether Thread Director requires this.